By this time next year, all public housing projects in the city of Atlanta will be gone. The Atlanta Housing Authority says it's ahead of schedule in reaching its goal to be the first major city to build mixed-use communities where housing projects once stood. But not everybody thinks this is a good idea, including some of the families who say they were forced to move. Channel 2's Fred Blankenship is here now with more. Fred?
John, there are no shortage of opinions when it comes to this topic. Some call the projects a government social experiment gone wrong. Others simply call the housing communities home. For the past 3 months, we've gone inside the Atlanta Housing Authority and followed families through this moving process. Are they happy? Are people finding homes as promised? And is a move a benefit or a burden to the city of Atlanta?
Yeah, let's take a trip into the heart of the city. With 50 million bricks, it's a hard living, yelling rich people living in it. Had to start a committee called Get Rid of Them, excluding the smart and the witty. Yeah, bricks first, later deal with all the people. They knock down all the projects without looking through the peephole. Power is in numbers, but the numbers ain't equal. It's like pushing a camel through the eye of a needle. We the people struggle juggling life and a dream. Neither sleeper countries, we just caught up in between. And every single city street crime is supreme. Ironically, it's usually a Martin Luther King. I think the schools and the buildings made of Legos, cause they can break them down and start over if they say so. Benefiting all except the people lacking pesos. Instead of winning bagels, they be happy to win a bagel.
What we've been told is that they're going to tear them out. They want to tear them out. And I have concern about that because there's a lot of rooms going on. You know, a lot of rooms like there's not enough money for the vouchers. Some places not accepting those vouchers.
And so they move some people out so they can move some people in, putting people in the streets so people could live within the inner. Cause ever since the gas prices burst, suburbia decided not to drive as far to work. So instead of riding buses, they rather grab a cab and go to dinner, filling the other people up with nothing. Thinner bodies, thinner population within the lobby of a dying nation, patiently waiting on the inauguration. Taking that monumental moment as the sign of change, hoping to never have to hold another sign for change. Hearing 1,000 no's, searching for food in the garbage with a pile of clothes in the grocery cart that rolls. What will it take for us to realize that we're supposed to oppose anything against the human code of love? Just focus on the one and only judge, and you make it into the inner city up above.
But behind the hype and happiness of a new housing era is the tint of Jim Crow era racism.
This housing was set up expressly for blacks and blacks only at a time in our history that is very unfortunate. It was never designed to be successful.
Over the years, the Bowen homes and Atlanta housing projects in general began to be a cauldron of issues.
In 36, it started with Techwood. In 2009, it ended with Bowen homes. Broken homes was the inner city's vivid eyesore. Should the children suffer cause the neighborhood is wrong? They said they make a voucher for all of the residents to get housing, but they ended up on the waiting list. And for what? On Sunday they were chilling on the porch. By Monday they were told to leave or get forced. Married to state housing, they received a divorce. Prenuptials was signed, but of course, so you can get the things that you bought, they are yours to take. But the building that you're living in is mine to break. It's great for the wealthy, but it's bad for the poor. What happens when you're accustomed to having a door? Now all you have is a floor and 4 mouths to feed. Kids in the street crying, it's too loud to read. Jeez.
My concern for our residents and the community being torn out is that we are not being told truthful as things come forth. The ASJ will come to a meeting, they'll tell you one thing one time, they'll come back, they'll tell you something else. They're constantly contradicting themselves. And nothing really is getting across to us. So we really at a crossroads. We don't know if we're going to have a place to stay next week or tomorrow. And I don't think it's fair, especially when you jeopardize the kids. I'm raising my grandkids. So my concern is to make sure I really have this roof over my head than not to have no roof at all and nowhere to live. So this is my home. So I am fighting to keep my home until they can prove to us that they can better us. And if not, they need to leave us where we are. At least we won't be in the street. And, you know, that's my main concern is tell us truthfully what's going on.